So the Greeks' first great realization as a civilization was you needed to be able to blame your problems on some outside force over you who you had no control. You were powerless. They came up with the myths, the gods. It's like I wasn't late. I was compelled by the god Kronos, the god of time, to make a left at the Acropolis during rush hour. You know. We use our ethnicity for our what we're powerless forces. It's not me. It's my Irish temper. That's my Jewish guilt. Well, you just say your ethnicity like that explains it all. I'm half Dominican, half Italian. What do you expect? So the search for the self didn't work. And while the Greeks were busy thinking, the Romans came in, conquered them, and said, what do you think about that? So now, the smart guys had to keep their mouths shut for a while, and the tough guys ran things. And the Romans, of course, didn't do a lot of questioning. They didn't like questions. Italians, they don't like questions. Some philosopher would walk up, what is the nature of man? What are you, a cop? And of course, the Jews never changed since time began. They're the same as in the Old Testament. Argue with their relatives every chapter of the Old Testament. Then they argue with God. They always think they know the best way to do everything. Right? They get turned into pills of salt, which is a Jew's worst nightmare because of the sodium. On triglycerides. And everywhere the Jews go, they got chased out immediately. That's why shalom means hello and goodbye and peace. And peace, because that's their story. We're here, we're leaving, don't hit us. Shalom, shalom. Because India was at that, they were much more vulnerable to aggressive economic attack than aggressive military attack, because armies didn't scare them because of reincarnation. Soldiers would come in, we'll kill you. It won't be the first time The British Empire at its peak controlled 1/4 of the land mass and population in the world. This, by the way, is a little country. So they didn't do it with military might. They had something far more powerful. Contempt. They tapped into people's insecurities and their low self-esteem. They would show up with polished swords, pressed uniforms. Really? This is where you live? People would be like, clean up, the British are coming. The Mayan priest was like a pharmacist. People would bring their kids to him. He's like, hey, what's the matter with this kid, you know? I don't know, he can't focus, you know, I got him in the pottery circle, next thing you know, he's chasing iguana. He's like, I just got a new product in, it's the branch on that tree over there, you know, I don't know if it's good yet, but people like it. You know? So Africa, 55 countries, all divided, halfway around the world, their exact polar opposite. China, one country, one people, one haircut. China's drug was work, as we all know. They never stopped working. That's why the Great Wall is so long. It's the longest wall in the world. I'm sure it started off as just a wall. Because the next longest wall in the world is, I think, 14 feet. Australia backs us up in every war. You don't even have to ask. God bless those alcoholics, because let me tell you something. We have a drinking problem. But they always show up for us in every war, and they don't have to show up for anybody, because technically, they're not even part of the globe. They're not all on the globe, I know that. There's 6 planets closer to us than Australia. In Afghanistan, we had a little scuffle with them before, and they're like walking away going, America, asshole, thinks he's a tough guy, right? We're like, what did you say? Afghanistan, you want some now? Russia's like, don't do it. Don't. I still haven't lived from this little bastard. Everybody else starts fighting now. Suddenly Africa's in a world war. They're like the hip-hop club down the block, that the cops are even afraid to go in there and break it up, you know?